A spokesperson for Blake Lively asks, what is Bryan Freedman hiding? Bryan Freedman is the lead attorney for Justin Baldoni in this ongoing court case. In the February 3rd court transcript of that conference that I obtained last week, you can see why Bryan Freedman isn't actually hiding anything. It's just kind of a weird ping pong to me. Well, this guy's showing people too much, he's saying too much that he's not supposed to say in the press, and then also to be like, well, what are you hiding, mister? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Neidigh. On Friday, the judge made a ruling in the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively legal case. Representatives for the parties once again had some interesting things to say to the press afterwards. The parties had been arguing back and forth over subpoenas for phone records, which attorneys for Justin Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties called overly invasive, noting that Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and company are not the FBI. Blake Lively maintained her argument that the subpoenas would help to identify this larger network of people who were involved in this negative media smear campaign against her. Although yours truly still thinks, why bother to pay a bunch of people or make up bots to smear someone when they're doing a magnificent job themselves of making themselves look like a cunt? It was a really bad press tour. You did a bad job. Get over it. None of this was necessary. But here we are. So let's proceed. The judge said the subpoenas had to be quashed to the extent that they sought the phone records of the Wayfarer parties, which would have given them very extensive records of everything going back to like 2022 at some point when the actual event in question apparently occurred in mid-2024. But the judge did deny the motion to quash as far as the subpoenas for the phone records of non-parties. Now, as far as who won this spat, I think it really depends on who you ask. But here's where it gets interesting. A spokesperson for Blake Lively said, what is Bryan Freedman hiding? Bryan Freedman is the lead attorney for Justin Baldoni. After promising to release all the receipts, Freedman ran into court to keep secret the phone records of who Baldoni, Heath, Sarowitz, Nathan, Wallace, and Abel were calling during their retaliatory campaign. So instead of getting these records from the phone carriers the way we initially requested, the judge has ruled that if we simply submit more specific requests, we will be able to get the records we are seeking, the spokesperson added. Today we will do that. We are submitting those requests directly to defendants involved, and we look forward to seeing the records. And next I'm going to go over what Justin's side said. However, there is some stuff I want to go over as to why I feel like that statement was a little disingenuous. What is Bryan Freedman hiding? Because in the February 3rd court transcript of that conference that I obtained last week, you can see why Bryan Freedman isn't actually hiding anything. Now, as far as what Baldoni's team had to say about the subpoena issue and the ruling, Bryan Freedman found it to be a hard loss for Blake Lively, saying, the court put a stop to Ms. Lively's egregious attempt to invade our client's privacy. This is a big win. No matter how the Lively parties may try to spin this decision, the court saw their efforts for what they really are, a desperate fishing expedition intended to salvage their debunked claims long after they already savaged our client's reputations in the New York Times. Now, the reason I feel a little irritated as to the what is Bryan Freedman hiding types of stuff that they're putting out in their statements is because they wanted a whole court conference because they thought the guy was saying and doing too much. And yes, I understand the subpoena issue is different than, the issue of what's being aired out in the press. However, it's just kind of a weird ping pong to me to be like, well, this guy's showing people too much, he's saying too much that he's not supposed to say in the press, and then also to be like, well, what are you hiding, mister? Again, it just seems a little disingenuous to me, but now, if you want to see everything that was said in that February 3rd court hearing, you can go to my free Patreon page. There's a link in the description of this video. And you can download that transcript, which will not be available for public download on the normal Pacer website until, I believe, May 8th. So if you don't want to wait a couple more months to take a look at that, you can go ahead and find it on my Patreon right now. You do not have to pay for it. It's free to everyone. I do hope that you will become a free member of my Patreon page while you head over there just to get free updates as I post them, and then maybe some behind-the-scenes pictures of my dog and my family and stuff like that. Alright guys, I may be streaming tonight. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know. I have an online exam due at midnight, so it just depends on how quickly I get that done. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your support. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. What is Bryan Freedman Freedman? What the fuck? I forgot what I was gonna say. I've got elevator music stuck in my head. Fucking TikTok.